Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Kat. So yesterday, or the video before this, I showed you guys comparison swatches between and the numbers of the wired palette and the electric palette. And is it the same? I'm gonna see, is the formula the same as the wired palette and the electric palette? The electric palette is the original one, so I'm gonna see, is the formula the same or better? And then I'm going to do on my eyes. One look is gonna be from the wired palette, just the wired palette, and then one look I'm going to use the wired palette and colors from the electric palette. There are repeating colors between the two palettes, so it will make it easier. So the looks will kind of look cohesive. So I'm not trying to do an exact kind of dupe look because they're not. I'm not saying it's a dupe of a palette, but a lot of people kind of say it's like the sister or, Electric 2.0 or, so I'm just kind of comparing how the palette does on its own. Is it a good palette? And then if you use the two palettes together, are they good palettes? And I am looking at my highlight in the viewfinder, and I got this from Elf. I did a little haul from the Elf website, so this was free after I spent 30 bucks. This is the Nabella Noor. She's I think Indian. She's Southeast Asian. She's so I think that's like India and I don't want, so I think she's Indian. And it's a really beautiful loose powder highlight, as you can see on the bottom. It's this gorgeous like gold champagne color. Let me swatch that. It's right there on my hand, and it's just a gorgeous highlight, and it, I think, would work on a lot of skin tones. And my foundation, I have not worn the Beauty Blender foundation in a little while, and I think it's my summer color because I don't know if it's just the lighting, but or my skin tone isn't as yellow right now. It's just, I feel like my skin's a little too yellow. It might be, maybe it's the banana powder with the, I don't know. I just feel like my skin is looking a little, I don't know, mask-like or yellow, or I don't know, maybe it's the highlight. Something just to me looks off. So if you guys can see that, I'm noticing it too. So I don't know what it is. I kind of feel like my foundation is just off a little, or it oxidized or something, which is weird because it's never done that before. It might be the Elf Camo Concealer, because I'm going to do a video comparing the Camo Concealer to the hydrating Makeup Revolution concealer, and then a video comparing the two camo concealers. So those are videos coming up. So like I said, I'm going to do one eye with just the wired palette, and then one eye using both palettes, so we can kind of see how this performs as a palette, and then how would they perform if you use these two together. And I am going to be doing a video where I find singles to make my own electric palette, because this palette is pretty old. I think this is like 6-7 years old. I do sanitize this, and powders last a lot longer. This is the electric palette, and yeah, this was like the first palette that really got me into colors. So even once I don't use it, I'm going to keep it for memory's sake. But I do want to find, I can find all of these colors in loose singles, so I am going to do that, where I make my own electric palette. So that will be coming up. So this is the electric palette. It is a mix of satins, metallics, and mattes. And then the wired palette, this just came out. I got this at Ulta. It was $39. and you get 1.5 grams or 0.04 ounces of product per pan. So this is the wired palette. If you guys remember, these are the pressed pigments. This is the eyeshadows, and then this pink, that orange, and this matte blue are colors that were in the other palette, and then like this green is almost the same as the other green. Or no, sorry, I think that is the same. No, Thrash is the one in the electric palette. So there are some in here that are repeats in both palettes, and then in here they took the silver out, put the white in, so you can make colors like pastels, they said. So if I was them, I would have taken this white matte out and put like either a silver in there again, or a like white a white based pink duochrome or something. I just would have done something besides the white. That's one of the biggest things that kind of throws me off. So yeah, we're going to do 2 looks, and yeah, let's see. I'm going to go in with the color. I'm going to go in with the color. Which color do I want to go? I'm going to go in with the color Shock. Yes, I'm going to go in with this matte lilac purple color. And I have my eyes primed. I used my CoverGirl concealer. So let's just pack this on and then do some circular blending. Like I said in my swatching video, I tried to not watch a lot of videos, but I did see a few, and I've kind of seen mixed reactions. So we'll see how I like it. And all right. I really haven't been using Urban Decay shadows recently. Like, I think it's so funny how they used to be like the funky, cool, hip company, and now they're kind of more known for like the neutral palettes, the naked palettes. And a lot of people were saying bring back the electric palette or do something with color. And I guess they listened, but it's weird because I remember when I was in junior high, Urban Decay just did nail polishes and lipsticks, and they were so cool looking, and they were like unusual colors, and they had really cool names, and it was a lot different than what they are now. Okay, this purple you have to be careful with because I can see it can start to blend away if you're doing too much. So let's go back in. And I feel like it kind of darkened a little from what's in the pan. Okay. Let's just blend that out a little bit. This matte is kind of not what I'm used to from what I remember Urban Decay formulas are like. I did buy the Honey palette, which I'm gonna do in a video. I'll do like how I like to do neutrals video. And then maybe I'll do a video like stepping out of my comfort zone and I can do it. It's not my favorite, like doing a soft glam look or something. I just like putting as much glitter and colors on as I can, so. Okay. This purple, I feel like it's slightly patchy, and not patchy, it's just, if you're not careful with this and you just keep blending, you're gonna blend this eyeshadow away. Okay. So that's the purple. And then I'm gonna go in with, this color Fluorescent, and I'm gonna do the front half of my eye. Just get my color switch. I'm just so glad that now people are so worried about getting people sick that people are actually covering their mouths and stuff, because at the beginning of winter, I was getting sick because people are like literally coughing in my face and not covering their mouths, and at least now people are, but it sucks that it takes such serious stuff going on that yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to take that Fluorescent color, which is like a Tiffany's blue. Interesting. These mattes are not performing the greatest from what I know Urban Decay colored eyeshadows can be. Interesting. On the other eye, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one layer of, yeah, maybe I'll do like one layer from the wired and one from the, like, I'll do the bottom layer from the wired, kind of see how opaque I can get that, and then let's see, maybe I'll put the color from the electric over it. Well, we'll see what comes into mind, because right now these colors are not performing like I know what an Urban Decay eyeshadow can do. I mean, I have like BH Cosmetics eyeshadows that are performing better than this. I mean, it's not horrible, but like, see here, the purple is slightly patchy, and this, I feel like it's not as opaque as it could be. And especially with this primer, it really grabs the color, so it's very pigmented looking, and it's definitely not what I know Urban Decay eyeshadows can do. Even like the Kristen Leanne palette, that was a really good palette. And this is, it's missing the mark. It's missing the mark, which is really sad. I wanted it to be awesome, but right now, and I feel like this blue, it's going muddy on me. I'm not a fan of this blue color. And I feel like, yeah, it's not getting to be as opaque as it could be. Again, my skin is acting up a little bit right now, so maybe it's that. But I'm not thrilled with this because I feel like it got muddy. And this, I can see patchiness in it, and it blended away while I was blending it. So if you blend it too much, it'll blend away. So I'm not very impressed by those mattes, but now I'm going to go in with, let's go in with the color Chaos, and I'm going to put that in the like outer V area. So I got a little tiny brush. We'll take this Chaos color and just plop it on the lid. I want to use this because I'm also going to use it from the electric palette, and I want to compare if the quality is the same or different. Because I remember this being a lot more pigmented. I feel like this one is more powdery. Like even in the swatches, I was noticing that there was difference. And in the original palette, the colors did stain my hand. The ones in the wired palette didn't. So I don't know if that means anything. So we're just gonna go in the bottom crease and just blend in a little. Okay. I feel like this is much more powdery and not as opaque as the original. Okay. Okay, so that's what the blue looks like. I was reading somewhere online, someone was like, oh, you silly Americans, with all the stuff that's going on right now, you guys are still thinking about makeup. And it's like, yeah, because at least it's something to get our minds off of it. What do you want us to do? Just go into our houses and like watch the news nonstop and like, no, it's serious what's going on out there, but you can't crawl into a hole and stop living. You gotta have some fun in your life, and makeup is fun. You can use it to get your mind off of it. You can go into your room and create looks instead of going out into public. I think makeup is awesome for this time, for what's going on right now. Don't share it with your friends and practice safe hygiene, but I think, you can't get too scared about things and let the fear about what if can happen. It's scary what's going on, but I mean, it's life. Scary stuff is always going to happen, and I mean, there are things you can do to get your mind off of it and, not make it as scary. And I think, yeah, it's nice to have makeup to escape to and think about, ooh, how can I make this pink eyeshadow look really pretty? That's what I think. So, okay, now I'm going to take this chartreuse green color and I'm going to use that as an eyebrow color because why not? My cats are shedding right now, so I have to brush them like for an hour every day. Well, my short-haired cat Oreo I don't, but my long-haired cat Delphine I definitely do. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not the same quality, because I know this isn't like the other color I said, it's not the same name, but the color is practically the same, but the formula is not. I'm sad. I wanted this to be like a good colorful palette from Urban Decay. And like being like, ooh, maybe they are gonna start doing some more like original funky ideas, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, this is also very sheer. And these are all kind of like powdery. They're like powdery and sheer, but not in a good way. And like, it's like a tint of color, but even in person, on camera, it's really not showing up. In person, it is, but you have to be really close up to see the full effect. Let's try one more layer. Oh, I'm so happy that I found out the Sailor Moon thing is at Ulta, so hopefully I can get my hands on the collection now. But that sucks that only, like, I know, excuse me, only a few countries got the licensing rights to it, which a lot of people were pissed off about, which, I mean, they can't really do anything about that, I don't think. Like, because I don't know how licensing rights work, so I'm not even going to insert anything about that. So that green is disappointing. I am going to now take on the lid, clean that off. I'm going to take the color, I'm going to take this color Current, which is a metallic, like Kelly green color, it looks like. Okay. And now we're gonna go on to the lid. Maybe I have to, I might have to use the finger with this. Yeah, I think this is gonna have to be a finger application. Yeah, let's go in with a finger right now. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm going on to the finger, or going on with the finger. Oh boy. Yeah, that fluorescent color is really disappointing. It's like fading already. Because, yeah, I know Urban Decay still has, like, all the single shadows of fun colors, but I don't hear people even mentioning them, so it might be that their colored formula is no longer the same. Because I guess maybe for a while they wanted to rebrand themselves and get out of, like, the funky colors and stuff, but yeah, that, sorry, I was just looking for something to wipe that off with. All right, let me now go in with a brush for the second layer. Okay, now it's going on better. It is a nice green once you get it built up, but, and I didn't try it with setting spray, but there are other shimmers that are a lot easier out there to work with. Oh, this would be looking really pretty if the shadows are actually working. All right. Okay, and let's get into the inner corner. Make sure I've got, okay. Now I'm just going to do the inner corner and the under eye. I do feel like, at least with everything that's going on, at least people are getting better hygiene, because it's horrifying. I see people that work in the bar with me and they don't wash their hands and they're serving drinks. So yeah, people I think needed to be reminded about hygiene. All right, so I'm gonna go on the lower lash line with the purple shimmer, the purple satin shimmer Gravity, and we'll put that on the lower lash. Let's see how this works out. Okay. I was so happy that the icy place by me is now opened, because that means warm weather is definitely coming now. All right. And you can hear the ice cream truck, I'm sure, in the background making its rounds. My allergies are already starting to act up and things aren't even like in full bloom. Oh boy. Hopefully my allergies don't kill me. All right. Okay, so that is the purple, and then I'm going to try that pure white glitch and put that in the inner corner. Oops, that's a little crazy right there. All right, let's see how this works out. It's like these mats don't want to stick, and I know it's not this primer because I use it all the time and I never have a problem with mats sticking to my skin. And this isn't very pigmented. It's like chunking up on the brush and falling off like it's a glitter, but it's a matte. It's really weird. Yeah, this matte is not, sorry, got powder in my eyes. That matte white is not very opaque, so I'm not very impressed from this. I will do more looks with this. I'll do another video where I just do straight up 2 looks from this palette. But from what I'm seeing so far, I'm not that impressed. We will do a look now using both palettes. What I'll do is I'll use the colors that are from the Wired palette that are in the Electric palette. I'll use those, and then I'll let you know which colors of those are. And then, or maybe, like I said, I'll do 1 layer of the Wired, like 1 layer of the Electric, and then 1 layer of the Wired to see. We'll figure it out. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to prime this eye and we'll try out, we'll do a look using both colors and palettes. Okay, be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. I am primed, and let's see if the Electric palette, if the quality is any better, and yeah, what it would look like if you used, or maybe I'll use the colors that are in... We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the color, every color that's in here I'm going to use, and if it's a double from this palette, I'll let you know. And then if I like a color that's in the wired palette that's not in this, I'll go into the wired palette and grab it. So we're using mostly electric colors and then maybe a few colors from the wired palette. But even I'll let you know what colors that I use in the electric that are in the wired. And I'll do one layer from the electric and one from the wired just to see if there is a difference in the formulas. So I'm going to go in with first the Savage from the wired palette. So I'll let this palette gonna go in with the Savage. Okay, tapped my brush in, and we're going to go in with this pink. Okay, this one. When it seems like from the wired palette, everything just seems like it's too powdery and just blends out. And I definitely know the stuff from the electric palette is not like that, because I did do a look with it the other day because I hadn't used the palette in such a long time and I wanted to make sure that I could do a look with it. Alright, so that's one layer from the wired palette. Yeah, I feel like this stuff is just too powdery and can blend away so easily. And it gets like muted in the process of it. Alright, I'm gonna go in with one more layer from the wired palette. Dip in. Uh-oh. Ambulances are going by. Alright. So I was supposed to go see my mom at the end of the month for a week in Florida, but I have a feeling it's going to be postponed, which sucks because I was looking forward to it, but I don't want to be flying around, especially in a airplane, which is so bad because the air is recycled. That, yeah, it's not good to be flying in an airplane when there are health concerns going on. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go into the electric palette and I'm going to take Savage from there, dip in, and let's see. Oh yeah, I can definitely tell from dipping in, there is a difference. Alright, let me blend, 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 blend. Oh yeah, I definitely, the wired palette it's more powdery, definitely more powdery feeling. Alright, I want a really blown out look. And I don't feel like now it's not blending away like it was before, Before, I definitely felt like it was blending away. Now it's doing what I want it to. Yeah, and I definitely feel like the pigment all of a sudden got a lot brighter. So with the blue now, am I going to use the blue? I am going to use the blue, but I'm going to use it for something else. I'm going to do the same type of crease, this two-toned crease, but I'm going to go in with the color Slow Burn. It's a matte red, or it's a satin red orange. Okay. All right, just once more in there. Make sure it's really clean. These are really good for synthetic brushes, but natural hair bristles brushes I wouldn't use in this because they will tear your brushes to pieces. That's the only drawback with those. All right, so now I'm going to go in with this color, Slow Burn. It's a satin orange-ish red color. So take Savage now, and we're going to go in the front half. And again, very sheer. The sparkles in it are staying put, so that's nice. There's no fallout in either of them so far, which is nice. So far I like this orange. I feel like it's kind of similar to the old formula. So that was one layer with the wired palette. I feel like this one is not as bad as the other ones. All right, so now I'm going to go in with the Slow Burn from the Electric palette. And just plop that in. Definitely the colors are similar. Okay, it is blending out nice. That is really nice. I feel like the two of those actually are actually working together, or maybe it's the same formula. I kind of feel like those two are still similar in formula. So that's working out really nicely. It's a really pretty color. Okay, you got a lot of color going on there. Then I'm going to take that chartreuse color, except it's Thrash in the Electric palette. So I'm going to take this and we're going to plop that on the brow bone. So let's take Thrash. Ooh, okay. And on the... Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Definitely different formulas. Like, you guys will see the difference in a head-on look, in a head-on picture in a second. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, see the difference? Like, this looks faded almost already. It's like a tint of color, but this one, when you put it down, it's like wham, bam, hello, lime. I prefer that. If I'm gonna put lime on, I want you to see it. I don't want it to be like, is it there? Is it not there? Yeah, I am digging that. Let's just go in and fix you up with some pigment, honey. Oh yeah, even with that leftover pigment. That's better looking. Okay. Now I'm going to go in the outer eye area. I'm not going to take Chaos from this palette because I used it from the wired palette because I used it. I'm just going to go in from the electric palette, and I'll let you guys know, is there a difference in the formula? Because I did use the same color in this outer corner, so I can definitely tell you. Or should I use Gonzo? No, let me use Chaos so I can tell you if there's a difference. So that's the matte cobalt blue. So again, oh yeah, there's definitely a difference in the formula. And the electric formula is a lot better. Which I was kind of hoping that if at least it wasn't better in formula, it would be the same. But I feel like the formula is a lot crappier in this new palette. It's more powdery, and I don't know, it's not my favorite as of right now. I'll have to do more looks. But as of right now, I'm not that impressed. Oh yeah, there's definitely a difference in... Alright, let me go in for a little more blue. I do want to go... Okay. Got a little bit of fallout there, but I'm also wearing concealer and everything I usually don't have. All right, so yeah, that is definitely a difference in the two blues. I feel like everything is fading on this side also. And I used a primer, so I don't know what's going on with this. All right, now I'm going to go in with the color. I'm going to go in with this color Fringe. Yeah, this color right there, Fringe. I'm going to put that on the lid. All right. And this palette is a lot older than this new palette, and the formula is better on the old one. There's something wrong. That's not good if that's happening. Even the shimmer formula is easier to put on from the electric palette. I am getting a little bit of fallout on the face right now. Just use a fluffy brush to get rid of it. Okay, it does brush away. That's good to know. All right, let's... continue on. I always do that. I always have my arms like crossed in front of my mirror, and people always look at me like, why do you do that? And I have no idea. It feels more comfortable to have it that way. You think it would be more comfortable this way, and it's not. I'll be doing a get ready with me soon too of using the BoxyCharm palette. Oh yeah, the metallics in this build up so much faster. Didn't have to use, excuse me, a finger. And I feel like the quality is even better in the electric palette. So this is the electric, this is just the wired. This is a mix of the colors from the electric and the wired. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with the color Jilted right here. Oop, Jilted, that's going to go on the lower lash. So, I mean, I know they wanted to do like a new palette, but couldn't you have at least kept the same formula? So, if I definitely wouldn't say this palette is beginner friendly. Alright, let me go in for a little more. And then the last thing is the inner corner. I forgot how much I love this electric palette. My contacts always do that. All right, so just one more thing. We got to do the inner corner for this, and I'm going to take that silver color Revolt, the silver color, and we're going to plop that into the inner corner. Oh yes, they definitely should have taken that white out for a silver, I think, or a like pink duochrome or something. I definitely wish they had a better mix of mattes to metallics like this one, or like mattes, satins, and metallics. I feel like this palette doesn't quite, the wired palette doesn't quite have enough mixture. All right, let's try this wet. So much better. Okay. So and I can even tell in the time it took faster for me to use this palette because I didn't have to blend as much. The colors were easier to work with. So I am going to have to do more looks. We'll do another video where I do 2 looks, 1 palette with this. But from what I can tell so far, I like this old formula. This formula, I don't know if I'm just using the wrong primer or something, but I feel like these are fading. They're not as bright as the colors from the electric palette, and this is, like I said, at least 6-year-old palette, and these were so easy to use, blend. They're still pigmented, and yeah, they're not fading. They're not, you can't over blend them into nothing. They're pigmented on the electric palette side. I just feel like the electric palette, they're powdery and kind of chalky almost feeling, and the pigmentation isn't sticking. And I'll try a different base also with it. It might be the base that I'm using, but I've used it. Like, that CoverGirl's formula is a dupe for the Urban Decay primer potion. I'll use the primer potion in the next video, but the old Urban Decay worked perfectly fine with it. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's the formula or, oh, I hate when lipstick does that and starts to bunch in the sides. Yeah, I don't know if it's the formula's not working or if it's the primer that I used isn't working, but I will redo I will do more looks with the palette, no, definitely, because I want it to work. That metallic is looking really nice. That purple on the lower lash line looks nice, but that lime color, it's like a tint of lime. Maybe if I used a white base, it would be more bright. That turquoise is like gone. This is like patchy and faded and blended away, and it looks like it's fading also. This is fading, and it is nothing like this. This is the same color, but this is the old formula. So I could see how they tried to make it the next electric palette, but I kind of feel like the original is still better. I will do another video using the palette and doing 2 looks. So as of right now, I'm kind of iffy about it. I don't think it's a must-have, and most people I've heard, they kind of like said it's not great, it's not horrible, it's like meh. So I will do 2 looks. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a must-out, run out and get it. Save your $39, or maybe get a color, find these colors in a ColourPop palette and dupe it out. And I think like the colors are nice. It would be a nice palette if the colors, you know, just weren't having this issue. Because look, that is not what's on my inner corner, and that is not what's on the outer, and that's what I put on the low outer V. It's not looking good. So I will come back. I will do 2 looks with this palette in another video, and we will see if maybe it was the primer. I'll use another primer. We'll do a redo with this palette, but as of right now, I don't think it's a must-have, run out and get. I have drugstore shadows that work better than this. So yeah, this is, you don't need to run out and get this. I definitely do not think this will be beginner friendly. If I have all of this experience with color and this happened, I think if you're if you're a beginner with color, this will frustrate you more than anything. So yeah, this I don't think is a must-have. I think if maybe you like the colors, just go out and find the colors in another company and make your own palette. I wish that I could say that this was, you know, this and this were like meant to be sisters. They could be so good together if the formula of this was as comparable as this. So if the formula was good on this, I would love this palette. And I like that these 2 really could be used together, but unfortunately the formula is just so meh right now. I couldn't recommend it to anyone to buy. So yeah, we will do a redo with this, but I don't think this is a must-have palette. So yeah, get something from BH Cosmetics or singles if you really want this. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you got this palette or were thinking about getting it, or if you have the electric palette and if you have it and still have it in your collection, or yeah, let me know what you think about this palette, and I will be back soon with another video, and I will definitely do 2 more looks with that palette, just using the wire palette. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video, and have a good night. See you in the next one. Bye.